Yeah, as you heard, my presentation is about flying on miles. This was a picture I took a few weeks ago. I came back to Boston and I was like, oh, kind of like I am tonight. I was like, oh my gosh, there's snow. I didn't even want to get out of the plane. I haven't been back in the wintertime actually for a few years, so it was a little hard. I felt like I had never even seen snow before. I was like taking pictures, like, oh my gosh, there's snow. So, of course, one of the beauties of travel is that you can escape the snow. And so if you want to travel, or if you already enjoy travel, you hopefully will enjoy my presentation. If you don't like travel, then it may seem like a big, giant advertisement for credit cards, so I apologize for that. But so this is what airline miles are. They're also known as frequent flyer miles or travel points. They're part of a loyalty program offered by airlines or credit cards, and you accumulate a set amount based on how far you fly or how much you spend on the credit card. So, there's all different types of credit cards that you can get. And how do you get flyer miles? Well, it's all about the bonus offers. That is the most important thing to learn if you want to fly across the world. Because if you're spending on, just your average things and you get a mile per dollar or two or whatever, unless you're really rich, it's probably not going to add up to that much. But for example, on this one, you spend $1,000 in the first 3 months, and then you get 35,000 bonus miles. And, it might not sound like a lot if you don't know where that can take you, but it can take you pretty far in the flyer miles world. But you have to remember that these are credit cards. They're not just cards for spending and accumulating points. They're not like the Monopoly McDonald's game. They're real credit cards. So it's not an excuse to go out and buy lots of stuff to get free tickets. The key is to use it on things you're already buying, so on your bills, on your groceries, on your airline tickets, whatever. And then, let's see what you can get. So, for example, you got one of those Delta cards, because that's a good one, because Delta ones, they don't expire. They stay around for your whole life, so it's really good to get Delta. And this one, that one was only $40,000. You gotta shop around for the deals. But that one was $40,000, I think Boston to Nairobi, maybe. This one, Providence to South Korea, and it's only $25,000, which is half of the bonus you get, and $5.60. So anyone right now who has that bonus could go round trip to South Korea. And I was almost going to buy that ticket. I was going to Asia. I wasn't going to South Korea, but they're supposed to have a really good transit tour in South Korea. If you're there, you can go and tour the city for free. And what's great is that you can just go from credit card to credit card, because some of them have an annual fee, but not in the first year. So you do the bonus offer, and you get the rewards, and then you cancel it, and then you get a different card. So here's a different one. This is also a very useful one. It's connected to an airline, which is one of the types. So this is the United one. You get 40,000 bonus miles after you spend 2,000 on purchases. And that can also bring you quite far. So for example, you can fly from Boston to Berlin for 30,000 miles. And they've got all different options for you to choose from. Sometimes you gotta play around with the dates. As a point to note, these are one-way tickets, because that's usually how I fly one way, but of course, 2 ways would be double the amount. And domestic flights can be super cheap. So say it's winter, you want to go down to Florida, it's only 12,500 miles. So if you've got a 40,000 point bonus, plus your other points from other spending things, that's almost 2 free round-trip tickets to Florida. Then, once you're getting bigger in the game, you gotta look at the airline alliances. This is key. So we've got American Airlines here, and we've got Delta Airlines and United, and each of them are in their own alliance. And once you have points with Delta, you can use them at any of the other airlines in that alliance. So this is the same one as United, and I'm on the United website, and you search in miles, and we're not even flying from the States anymore. We're going from Ethiopia to Germany. But it's 30,000 miles, and you're flying on Ethiopian Airlines and Austrian Airlines, which is pretty darn awesome, because if you have these frequent flyer miles in the States, you're not just using them in the States, but also to fly from other parts of the world. Kathmandu to Cairo, you can go 22,000 miles and 3270. There's the added amount because they charge you like taxes and fees and stuff. This is me. This is in October. I was flying from Boston to Nairobi with Saudia, and I remember this picture because it was October and I was wearing my poncho and I was like so bundled up, but then it was in Saudi Arabia and it was really, really warm there. And so this is a different kind of card. This is for getting frequent flyer miles, but it's not connected to an airline. It's just a general miles card. So it works a little bit differently, but it's also a little more flexible. The miles are not necessarily as valuable, but how it works is if you have 50,000 miles, you divide it by 100. So that means $500 towards airline miles. So it literally is just a statement on your credit card statement. So rather than having to search for the flights that are a certain number of miles, any type of flight that you purchase, you can use your miles as a credit towards that. So for example, you buy a flight that's $721 and you take off the credit and then it's only $221. So it's more flexible than the other tickets because if you don't have enough miles to reach the tickets with the mile amount, you can't get it. But with this one, it just subtracts from the total amount. So anyway, that's that. I hope that I inspired you guys a little bit to travel and maybe made it more affordable for you or intriguing or something. Thank you for listening to me.